Hello and welcome. I'm back in my old spot because, I don't know, that spot over there, I tried already this morning. Of course it didn't work because, of course it didn't. Wow! Sorry, something just fell down. This is the problem with being in this room because there's stuff all over the place. But random act of gravity. Anyway, last time you didn't see Skitters, I don't think, so here he is. He's like, no, Mom, I don't want to be in the video yet. But, ta-da! He's got something in his eye. You got something in your eye, sir? What do you have in your eye? Don't growl at me. Good boy. Good boy. Did you get it? You got it. Okay, you go hang out somewhere. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, and all of the jiggling and finagling is out of the way, let me get my tablet started, and let's get started. Welcome. My name is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. A tablet has started. It is I think better than yesterday day in the Ottawa area of Ontario, Canada. Yesterday was raining. It was raining. Yay! And so today is March 8th. Happy International Women's Day to all of you fantastic females out there. Here we go. So, raining. It was raining in March. I think we have a little bit more snow left to come because we always do. It's always the way. But for now, everything is melting. Everything is melting. Okay, so, yes, I already filmed a video in my bedroom with the light on this time, so there was a lot more light, but at the same point, I wasn't as excited as this because, I don't know, sometimes... Hold on. Let me just see if Skitters is chewing on headphones. No? Okay, good boy. Okay. When you have an audience, I don't know. I can't, even in front of James who's sleeping, I can't do it. Meanwhile, he's just behind this wall. And I'm like, woo! Anyways. Hello. Okay, shall we get started? I still have Skitters here. He is still being a devious. He hasn't run away yet, so he's gotten into all my stuff. We have something I did not bring. I was going to bring something that I didn't bring. Anyways, I'm not pausing the video because unless a phone call rings, that's not on this phone because this phone is now on airplane mode and we're not doing that anymore. I tried to answer the phone in the last video and it cut me off the video. Did you know that? Not me. Say hello to Skitters. Poor guy. Alright, so, okay, so, I just want to say that this community is amazing. Yesterday, just quickly, the Soulful Stitcher posted a video saying that she and her family needed to get somewhere else quickly within a couple weeks. And so I was going to share and say, hey, can you help her and all of this stuff? But she just posted a video about an hour ago saying, thank you so much and all of that stuff. So I'm not 100% sure of what it was about because I don't know the details, of course. But thank you to, if you're on this channel, thank you to whoever, if you ended up doing anything for Melanie. That was fantastic. I know that as a stitching community, we can come together when needed and just do all the great things that need to support each other. Like I said, I was going to talk about it a little bit and link it down below, but I guess the influx of people who helped donate and do all the things and was enough for her and her family to keep moving forward in the journey that they're currently on. Anyway, the sun is out and that's exciting, so maybe I'll insert a picture here. Maybe that will evaporate some of the flooding that is happening in our parking lot right now. This is because the snow melts, the parking lot is at the wrong angle. Anyways, so it's not angled down to the street, it's angled down into, that garbage bin. That's not helpful for anybody. Anyways, but the sun is out, and so hopefully that also means that it's nice enough to evaporate some of that water. That was yesterday, and it was raining, so It is now 12:30 in this new spring forward time. Crazy that it's already 12:30, but whatever. Shall we get started since I've already been talking for 5 minutes? Okay, so he's going to jump down and cause the table to maybe do things. All right, so... Oh, I did bring it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so get comfy again. I'm going to start out with my only paper pattern that I worked on this week. This is Celestial Gathering by Dimensions. I worked on this while my videos last week were compiling together, because I guess in the program that I use, CapCut, it now compiles the videos. It takes, I don't know, depending on, of course, how long the videos take, or the video is, they compile them all together, and it can take up to like half an hour. So, well, sometimes. So, depending on how many little video clips you have. That's why I try and do everything all in one go. Otherwise, anyways, so this is Celestial Gathering. I did not put enough stitches in to give you any kind of numbers because it's a paper pattern as well. So, some of you have seen this, some of you have not, and most of you have. So I don't really have anything to put behind today. I'm sorry about the sun. So, but here we go. I did end up working. So this is a Dimensions true to form. Most of this is just two stitches, like two threads, but also half cross and full cross. But I did work in this here. I put in a thread, one thread length between this section and this section of the sun. So that's exciting. Look how good he looks. He looks fantastic. And there's the light back on the camera. I don't get it. Anyways, he does look kind of grumpy though, doesn't he? I am a son. Anyways, that's that. If the phone does ring, I'm sorry, because James's parents have been calling me and trying to get the water out of the parking lot, but our landlord doesn't want to do anything about it, so c'est la vie. Okay, so the next one that I have, we're going to start on the digital charts. As everybody knows, I go from alphabetical, not from amount or progress on the start to finish of the week or anything like that. So alphabetical order, here we go. So the first one up is Autumn Fairies. I ended up putting 320 stitches into this. This is by Karen Middleton. It was a freebie at one point, a long time ago. So here we go. This is actually my third time filming this, of course, because why would I only film things once or twice in a day? Anyway, so here we go. This is 320 stitches added. This is the whole thing. I mainly worked up in this portion up here. I filled in some missing stitches along this stick. I filled in the rest of the green leaf if there were missing stitches, and I filled in over here on top of his head. So I'll fold it in half because it's somehow easier to see. Not really. Okay, let's do it this way. Cool. So yeah, so I essentially just worked up in this top half, trying to get all of the missing stitches. As you can see, I did not get all of them, but I did reach a good stopping point at 8,500 stitches. So this is now at 45.95%. So the next time I work on it, it will probably get to 46%. I was watching The Mentalist, because that's apparently what I stitch to. I can't watch anything else now. I mean, I can, but if I watch FlossTube and stitch, then I don't get as many stitches in, I find. But, so I was watching The Mentalist. I was sitting in the bedroom, headphones on, because, I don't know, I'm very considerate about James's sleeping patterns. Anyways, and James was moving around in the bedroom. I put the needle on the needle minder down on the table in front of me that I was working on. This is the needle and the needle minder. So it's one of those wooden ones, so it's not very big, but it's big enough to hear if it flies off the table, right, onto the ground. That was not the case. I put the needle down. I took my headphones off just to make sure, because these are the headphones that I'm talking about, because earbuds make my ears hurt eventually after a while, so I use like the big ass headphones, old school headphones. Little did I know, or remembered, I guess I knew, but I didn't remember that there is a magnet inside this part. I spent a solid 10 minutes trying to find out where these magnet and needle went. Magnet, needle minder, and magnet went with the needle. Oh my goodness, I can't say it. Anyways, because did it fly on the ground? Did it get mixed up in the threads that I was looking in? Did it get under the chair that I was sitting on? Because it was like it's that chair. It's the easy chair, the nice chair, the sofa chair, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, armchair? There you go, maybe. Skitters might jump up here again, so we'll see how that goes. Or he might puke. One or the other. I don't know. We'll see how life goes. It's Sunday. It's the first day of daylight savings time, or daylight normal time, or whatever. I don't know. The clocks jumped forwards. That's all I got. Okay, so, yeah. 10 minutes of searching, and it was inside. I finally picked up my headphones just to be like, okay, not that I give up, but I give up. So I pick up my headphones, and it's sitting inside here. Oh my goodness. Anyways, let's carry on. So, my pile. The next one that I had worked on was Mini Beginner Seashell. This is by Kayomi Harai. It is on the Heaven and Earth Design website. This is the Mini and the Beginner. There is a regular seashell. I guess it's bigger. I don't know. I've never actually looked into the dimensions, but this is quite small. And I'm not really quite sure what makes it a beginner, but I was happy with it. I am happy with it. I figured out this math. I was at 15,100, okay? Now I'm at 15,197, but I claim to have put in 111 stitches. Sorry about the lighting. It's dark, it's light. This is the sun. Anyways, here we go. This is where we're at. So yeah, so I ended up getting to a milestone of a percentage. So I am now at 60.07%. So Lorna, we can now officially start the Forever Friends if you're still inclined to. I know I have already started, and so have you, but now we can technically do it because I told you at the beginning of whenever we decided to do this together that I needed this piece to get to 60%. And so now we're at 60%. So, if you've never seen this piece before, here it is. I'm not going to be able to maybe see. Anyway, this is where I worked in this little section using Stitching Mummy's typewriter method. Start with the top left symbol that's not done yet and carry it all the way through the 10x10 block. But I have already, if you've missed it, I've already made it down to the bottom. So this bottom down here, this is the bottom of the piece. I was debating, the bottom of the whole piece is all just white. I was debating just getting rid of that, but I don't think I'm going to do it because, it just finishes it off, right? So that's the whole thing so far. 60.07%. So, hooray! And yes, you can see all of the different ways in which I stitched it. I don't care. It just tells the story of the life of Mini Beginner Seashell. So I started this, September 2023, I think. So it's going well. Anyway, next up is QS Butterfly 2 by Ching Chu Kuik. I don't think it's there anymore, but it was a Heaven and Earth Design website design. It was, oh my goodness, Michelle charted it. Anyways, hopefully the light will make it better. So here we go. This is the first one that's on, well, that's not true. Anyways, here we are. I am working across the top in the 10x10 block. And this is how far across I've ever gotten on this piece. The last time I gave up on working on this piece, I was working down the left-hand side. And so I wanted to try something new, of course. So I'm going all the way across the top. This is now at 300 stitches. at 0.71, I think. Yeah, 0.71%. So it's been fun. I decided I wanted to round everything up to the closest 100, minus that. It is what it is. I don't know why I stopped 3 stitches short. I don't think I realized it. And then, anyways, the next one. The next one is one by Randall Spangler. It is Mini Dragon in the Morning. It is also by Heaven and Earth Design. I've been working on this for probably about 3 years. I think it's almost been 3 years exactly. So we are now at 15.71%. So I've added 100 stitches. So we're now at 16,650. And so I'm working in this 10 by 20 block, I guess you could say. Over here. Over here. Started back at the beginning again. So this is now 7 blocks down. 7 by 10. 20. That, I feel like that's 20, but anyways, yeah. Could also be 10. I could count. No, definitely more than 10. Anyways, whatever, doesn't matter. So yes. Ta-da! So slowly but surely, I'm thinking of making this a step the next time I do this, and going all the way down to the page, because if this is 70, then I think I only have another 30 left before I can get that page finish. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But stay tuned, because who knows what I'm going to do. Not me. But I am planning on working in all of the part threads as we go along, because who knows? They're just there. And I don't even know if they're all in the right spots anymore, because I can't remember. Again, sorry about the lighting. It's going in and out, and sunny and not sunny, and sunny and not sunny. It's driving me about a little bananas, but that's okay. The next one is Fractal 53 bookmark. Fractal bookmark 53. This was a freebie on the Cross Stitch Collectibles website. You can get the full version still. Last time I checked, it was still there. It was a square, not a rectangle. I had put in 100 stitches, so now we're at 3,700 stitches at 24.67%. So what I'm doing now is just adding some of the lighter green in the green swirls. Nothing too fancy, just trekking along on that one. So I am color completing that one in the swirls, just to color complete. I don't know. I was trying to do a cross-country coloring situation, and yeah, I guess it's working. The next one is the infamous Forever Friends this is a quick stitch by Oleg Gavrilov of Heaven and Earth Design. This was one of the ones where I did not round it off to the closest 100, but that's okay. Life happens. So I put in 117 stitches. I went from 2.04% to 2.23%. So now we're at 1,417. I filled in the 934 that I was missing. I filled in some of the 647 that I was missing, so that carried down into here. And then I started up over here to start in on the next 10 by 10 block on the next page. So maybe this can become a focus piece now that I've reached... I can't talk. Now that I've reached 60% on beginner seashell. Da, da, da. Okay, so the next one, I should just look over at my pile because everything is just in order of my pile. So the next one is Never Quit. This is by Stitchery Stitch. It was an Etsy. It was on Etsy. I'm not sure if it's still there. This is a couple years old. This is the only one that I'm doing on a colored fabric except for this one, but this was charted. This was charted with the dark blue fabric. This one's a light blue 14 count, and here we go. So this was all done already. My new stitching, as you can see with the hanging thread, was the D and the whole word of move, and I think it's going to say closer or close or something. Anyway, so but D, move, and this is the start of a C. It's just on a regular 14 count blue Aida. Here comes Skitters again. Oh, that was a half cough, half sneeze. What was that? Did you have good snackies? I guess he just had some snackies. All right, did you see him cleaning his mouth? Oh my goodness, he's so cute. All right, what's next? What everybody's waiting to see. This is Minnie Watching the World Go By Lucy Pittaway. It's a retired chart by Heaven and Earth Design. And I am now, are you ready? I put in, I don't know how stitchers do this. How do you have a rotation with however many whips you end up doing, and you put in 1,000 stitches per whip, and you have multiple whips to show every week? How do you guys do that? Anyways, I ended up putting in 1,900 and, nope, try again, 1,091 stitches. So I went from 48,909 to 50,000. So I went from 96.61 to 98.77. And are you ready? Are you ready? We only have 625 stitches left. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, so look how much I don't have left to stitch. That's only 625 stitches. Are you ready? I'm so excited. I was talking with Lorna this week about how, should I finish it? Should I not finish it? What should I do? Should I just keep trekking until it's done? That's when I was at 49,000 and something or other. And so I decided that no, I should just stick it out and want to finish the last stitch instead of stick it out and, you know, be grumpy about the fact that I'm putting in my last stitch of my most beloved project. So last time I showed you, the sheep bums were done. So what my plan was, I worked on it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to put in my 1,091. So what I was doing is I was completing a color of the green. Actually, I think I was completing a color of the browns first. I don't think I completed, I don't remember. Anyway, color completing the lowest number, and then doing a column of 10. And then completing the next lowest color, and then doing a column of 10. And then completing the next color of the lowest number, doing a color of 10. Completing a number of 10. Column of 10. So I would have, if I stitched Friday, Saturday, and then this morning, I would have, because there are 3 columns left, or maybe 4. So it would have been very, very, very close if I continued on with my complete a color, stitch a column, complete a color, stitch a column. But this week it will be done. And if not this week, by some means that I didn't get working on it this week, next week for sure. So yes, that's the game plan. I'm so excited. It is so close to being done. Jen, thank you for not posting. Not thank you for not posting, because I do miss your videos, but if you would have posted your Friday night video, I would have stitched on it on Friday night or Saturday morning, but you didn't because life, work, whatever was in the way. So you made a very nice comment saying on YouTube saying, sorry guys, missed this one. Maybe I'll, get it on Sunday, or maybe I'll film it, next week, and I'll tell you all the reason why. Anyways, so for FlossTuber Frenzy, this is what I've been working on for Jen's videos. Because it was, I knew that her videos, out of everybody that I watch, were the closest, no, that's not true, were the longest videos out of everybody that I watch, because Jen's videos typically are about an hour and a half. I don't know how you do it, Jen. Anyways, are about an hour and a half, and so I got a lot of stitching done, and so I know that I wanted to finish this ASAP, but not too fast. So, when I wasn't watching Jen this week while stitching the 1091, which is a record number for me, I was watching The Mentalist, because I've already seen it. Nothing is surprising anymore. That's one of the shows that I can sit back and just listen to and absorb what's going on without even watching. It is now on Netflix as of March 1st, so that's exciting. And so I feel like when I want to watch something, that's it for my whips. So if you're just here for the whip portion of my video, then thank you for joining me. If you want to know about plans, they're coming up soon. But that's all the actual current whips. So I need to make a wheel, because I've already pre-watched all of the shows that are on the wheel, so therefore nothing is surprising, so I can just stitch along and just listen and all of the things. So, this week was The Mentalist. The last couple weeks have been like Once Upon a Time on Disney. So maybe this week will be something else. But since I have missed watching The Mentalist so much, that I think I'm just going to continue this week again. Like I said, it is new. It's not a new show, but it is now on Netflix. So that is exciting. Netflix Canada. I'm presuming it's already on the States, or it's already, don't worry about that. I think it's already there. But as for what is coming up in the next little while, for my whips or my new starts, because in the next 2 weeks, the next week and a half, it's my birthday. So I'm not going to talk about what I'm going to do for my birthday week, which is going to be exciting, because it's also St. Patrick's Day, and it's also, a dentist appointment day, and that whole week is already filling up quite quickly. Anyways, I do have a new plan started. Don't worry, I already have the fabric. Don't worry, it's very little, so it's not like it's going to be big. I'm still debating, but that's going to be next week. This week coming up, I'm going to have to stop the video and do a little bit of research about what's going to be happening with all of the games that I'm playing, and I will go through all of the whips that could potentially be worked on this week, and we'll see where we get to. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I know that I deleted the last part of this video, so whatever, but we're going to start from the beginning of the last part of the video. Phone calls all day long. This is why I do this usually at like 6 a.m. Now it's like, I don't know, 12:30 or 1 o'clock or almost 2. Anyways, we've been doing this since like 11 o'clock this morning. Are we ready? So, plans that might happen, might not happen. I don't know. We'll see. This is Snowman Lantern, Snowman Lantern, a Mill Hill kit. I want to organize all of the threads because it makes it go way faster. And this is where we're at. Just starting of that tree on the left. That's the one thing about Mill Hill that irks me a little bit, because they just give it to you in the bundle, and even though that's great, it's very, well, how am I supposed to stitch fast then? Anyways, alright, next up is Mini Snow Leopard by Artisy. I don't have any details on this right now because it's not in my tablet, but this is where we're at. If I choose to want to stitch it, I am choosing to want to do things that I did not touch necessarily last week. So, and we're zooming through this because who knows? Just in case a phone call happens again. Alrighty. Okay, so next up is Silver Creek Samplers Sing a Sampler series. This is part 1. I have all 4 parts. Currently working on part 2. Nope, lies. This is part 1. Currently working on part 2 of the Me. I want to be able to finish that field of grass. And this is where we're at. I'm using a whole lot of different variations of colors. Almost none of which are called for, but we'll see how that goes. So this is where we're at right now. And I'd like to finish the field of grass. Goals this week. That's what this is. Goals. They're not expected things to happen. They're just things that might happen. So I just want to finish. The grass goes all the way over to here. So maybe while this is compiling all together or editing or whatever, maybe I'll be working on this. Who knows? Anything's possible. The next thing I want to try to finish. That sounds like it's a dentist in here. Oof. Okay, enough of the dentist. I'm done. I'm done with the dentist until like June, thank goodness. Okay, so the next is See You Later by Happiness. That is where I'm at down here. I want to finish the polar bear and then use the same color down here. It's up here. I can't remember what it says, but that's the goal. To finish all of that color because that's what we're doing. Next up is I paused last time like this too, even though it's on my tablet. My tablet fell asleep. So this is Mini Breaking Free by Ciro Marchetti. No, that's not right. Anyway, so here we are. This is halfway. This is 600 stitches, and I'm currently at 1%. Filling in all of that color first, and then I'm going in afterwards and filling in these spaces. Next up is by Dakota Dateweiler. It is Retired Chart by Heaven and Earth Design. Sorry. This is Hazel's World Giraffe. Here we are. It is retired from Heaven and Earth Design, at least. I haven't seen it anywhere else. My goal this week is to fill in those missing stitches in the neck and the missing stitches of that diagonal. Not that I want to rush through this because I'd love to just sit here and chat, but I don't. Maybe I'll just turn down volume. Because phone calls keep coming in. And, yeah. Anyways. I think his phone's almost dead anyway. Okay, next up on the pile is Pokemon Starters by Cross and Floss. Sorry about the darkness. Again, weird color variations today. So, this is what it's going to look like. This is where it is. It's currently at 46, I think. 40 something. 40. 42.26%. Oh no. Okay, pause. Just dropping phones off the couch. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so up next is The Wise and the Brave by L&L Designs. This is a 2026 Heaven and Earth Design Sal stitch along. This is where we're at. I don't have any specs because percentages because it's not on this list. It's I was thinking I was going to take a super break, but why am I taking a super break? I have all of the threads, most of the current threads that I'm using, all on a thread card, so why not? Up next is possibility of doing this one. This is Mini Sunflower Cottage by Donna Gelsinger of Heaven and Earth Design. And that's where this one is currently. So still filling in all the blue. Maybe I'll make my way into that. I think it's another cloud, that big thing. But I'm not 100% sure, so we'll see how it goes. Not sure where I'll work. Don't know the percentage. Not on the list. Alright, that's it for that pile. I was able to get this dimensions chart onto Pattern Keeper. This is Fairy Tale by Dimensions. If you haven't seen it, there it is. So, I looked, and what I have completed so far, it lines up and matches with what is on Pattern Keeper. So, whoever it was just digitally created it and then somehow magically sold it, but whatever. This is where we're at. This is the top. Yes, this is where we're at. Sorry. Top left corner. So hopefully this will move a little faster. I haven't filled in any of this part because I think that's what's confusing me, and that's why we're not moving forwards. And there's a few stitches up here that have not been filled in yet, again, because where it is on the chart versus where this is, I can't line it up properly, and I have the pattern chart still, the paper pattern, oh my goodness, the paper chart, still, but maybe I can cross-reference it if it's confusing me on Pattern Keeper, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go way faster. And then the last goal for this week, no, not the last one, because I never ended up talking about this one again, but the last stitchy goal, at least for this week, is to finish my Watching the World Go By. There's 625 stitches left, so I'm pretty sure I can get it done. If you recall, a couple weeks ago, one of my... Okay, so my mother-in-law's, my in-law's neighbor, her friend passed on a whole lot of stitching stuff to her, and then thought of me in this Lens Crafters bag, so eyeglasses bag. But this bag is full of threads that are either messy or still contained in the wrappers, or bobbinated. But whoever decided to, I think they're vacuuming, whoever decided to bobbinate, this is 954. Is it really actually 954? I will confirm with what I already have in my stash, and if it's close enough to the color, then I'll just add it to my stash. If not, then adios, amigo. Anyway, I think that is it for today. I have been trying to film this for like at least 3 hours now, so we'll see how that goes. I am ready to compile it and put it out there to the world, and thank you again for sticking with me. Thank you again for supporting my channel in whatever way it is, if it's liking or subscribing or mentioning me in videos. I did watch Anne's Max Color Stitcher last video this morning because she posted it at 3:30 my time, so I wasn't watching it in the middle of the night, although I'm pretty sure I watched it at like 5 a.m. Anyways, yeah, I did not stay up and stitch. I went to bed last night at like 10 o'clock, and that was it. I was done. Done. I was done. I don't know why. My new bed, it takes all of the life out of me when I'm sleeping, so I guess that's good. But it draws you in because it's so comfortable. Anyways, if I ever decide to do a stitch with me, that is what I'm going to talk about. Not that I'm going to do a stitch with me because I don't have, although I probably could do the greatest setup because I do have a tripod here and it does move around. So I could probably angle it so that it was looking at my stitching. I don't know yet. So we'll see how that goes. But whatever else I pick up, that's great. If I don't pick up some of that stuff, it's okay, because life is life, and life will not super be lifing this week. It's just work. Work for 3 days, probably. And I think that's it. I think that's all I got. My birthday will be next week. Not this week coming up, but the next week. So I do have plans to start something, but I will talk about that next week because we're not there yet. Yes. Okay. So I will wish everybody a happy International Women's Day. Sparkle and shine. Have a great day. Hopefully all this will be able to be compiled together properly, and I will be able to get this all out in a timely fashion before it becomes Monday. Anyways, I think that might be it. I don't think I have anything left to say. I think that's it. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, bye everybody. Sparkle and shine. Have a great day.